Hey there, it's James with Cart Spees, and what we are doing today is building a platform for this spinner because it tends to rock violently and when it's just freestanding. So we can't really drill into the cement floor here that's under this laminate. So we just decided to build a little platform. So that's what we're up to right now. Just got started, and hopefully this will give us a little space to pour. We can move it around a little bit depending on where we want to put it. But yeah, this is the basic design here. And I'm just trying to figure out where I want to bolt it down. I may create a couple different places to do that. But there you have it. Always load your extractor as evenly as you can. But that's not always super possible, so this should help. Here, if you look, this is 45-degree angle across, but I want the top to be actually on a have a curve. So I just ran a pencil along here, tie it, put basically a tack up there, and then just did a nice curve here. So we'll cut that with a jigsaw or something, and then we'll sand it all down. I will fill the holes first, then we'll sand it all down, and I think we'll be good. We'll lacquer it too, just so if we get honey or anything on it from the extractor, we can easily clean up. And then the other thing I have to deal with here is we'll probably put a little molding around. The molding didn't quite, miscalculated a little bit on the thickness of the wood, so there's a little. I don't want junk to accumulate in the edge there, so we'll probably put another little molding around there. No big deal. Probably before we lacquer, and we'll just lacquer up a few inches on the wall there. So, all right, continue to do projects here. It is blazing hot out this week. It's over 100 degrees, so it's a good time to be down in the honey room where it's nice and cool. We actually finished installing it, and now we're lacquering it. So the idea here is, if we want to do any cleanup and to seal the wood up all around this, we're going to lacquer this. So again, any water, honey, wax, whatever, this will make for easy cleanup. I'll take another video when we're done. All right, we may come behind this when we get more lacquer and maybe just finish this whole wall here. But for now, it's been just open pine, untreated pine forever. But we did want to put a good couple inches all the way around in case there's any splash that can capture that. Again, we might do all the wall though, but that's a bigger project than we have time for today. But here you have it. Here's the platform. So you can see the size of it down here. And what we're going to do is we'll mount the extractor on here so it doesn't bounce around as much. And then this gives us extra space to put the honey gate close to the edge, and then gives us a few more inches to be able to drop the honey into a 5-gallon bucket. And if I'm working on another invention, which is I'd like a honey gate on the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket. In order to do that, what I need is to put a little stand on the bucket. So this will give me some extra clearance under the extractor to be able to do an invention like that. And the idea there is, I don't want to have to tip a bucket basically. So just make it easy for the honey to flow right out the bottom. So we'll see if that works. That's another thing. Once we get the extractor mounted to this, after this dries, I will get another video out there. So thanks. All right, just a little update on the extractor platform project. So we've lacquered all this. It looks like it's dry now. Just a clear lacquer on here. And the original plan was to bolt these 3 legs of the extractor to this stand. But my wife asked a very good question. How are we going to tilt the extractor to get the last little inch of honey out? And she's got a good point. So I'm going to build a stand to go on top of the stand. So basically I'm going to take 3 boards, make a triangle out of it, and connect it to the base here. And then what we'll do is we'll take that triangle of wood and set it up here and have the honey gate, just over this lip here. And we're going to put a hinge So the hinge will be attached to the triangle of wood, and then the triangle of wood will be attached to the extractor legs, and we can put a lock on the triangle of wood to this platform in the back to make sure it stays stable. But when we're ready to tilt the honey out or tip the honey out, we can just pull it forward, drop it into the bucket, and there you have it. All theory right now. Worst case is it doesn't work and we just attach it directly to this platform. But thought we'd give that a try first. So anyway, making progress here in the honey room. It's James with Carp Spees. I hope you're all getting some great honey before we go into the dearth. Hey there, it's James with Carp Spees, and what's this triangle looking thing? Well, this is actually part of our new extraction project. So in our honey room, we've built a platform to be able to attach our extractor to, which has a motor and spins. It's 4-frame, and but it can, if it gets a little out of balance, it can shake quite a bit. So we wanted to have a platform to go ahead and attach it to, so it wouldn't shake as much. We wouldn't have to hold it down with our own body weight. And so we came up with this platform. But the other thing we did was we wanted to be able to tilt the extractor to be able to get out any honey from the honey gate, which is, an inch or so above the bottom of the tank. And the only way to do that is to tilt it. So what we're going to do here is use this triangle, because there's 3 legs, and each of those legs will be attached to this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have this hinge that's going to be on the base. And what that'll do is that'll allow us to basically pull this whole thing up forward and have the honey pour out. So that's the plan. And then what we'll use is maybe just some simple eye hook type of locks to hold the back down here, or maybe 2 on each side to keep it from vibrating. So again, that's what we're up to here. We're waiting for the stain to dry. Hopefully we'll be able to install this and test it tomorrow. So that's the plan. I'll show you when we get a little further along. Thanks. Okay, so we got our triangle mounted to a hinge, and now we just have to mount the hinge to the platform. We're going to have this hinge actually go directly into the support beam that's underneath. And then we'll put a couple felt pads under this to account for the little bit of gap that the hinge creates. And I think we'll get a couple little eye hook type locks just to attach to each side so it holds it nice and firm while the extractor is spinning. Okay, triangle attached. Let's see how it works. Here we go. So I think what we're going to do is just attach a little safety. Basically, we'll attach a little safety to the floor, a little string or something, so this doesn't ever fall all the way over. Alright, so in addition to the hinge, now what we've done is we put felt on the bottom of this, little felt pads. Tapped a little nail in there, made sure it's indented just a little bit so it doesn't mess the wood up. But, basically now if this falls, no big deal. And it's very sturdy and level now, which is good. So I think the only thing to do before we mount the extractor is to actually put some kind of lock on either side to hold this in place real tight. So we'll go see what we have in the garage. Alright, project is nearly done. So we now have the extractor installed to the triangle pieces of wood here. And those are attached with a couple washers to give the bolt a little height, and then a lock washer on there as well. Here's the hinge so we can tip this. So I'll just show you what tipping is like, so you can just see. So there, if we have a bucket down here, You know, we can tip it right into there, get the last little bits of honey. And what we don't have on yet is kind of a safety chain or something to prevent this from falling all the way over, so we'll install that. And then the other thing is a locking mechanism to kind of lock this to the platform, but we can just turn this on and crank it all the way up. So I don't have any frames in there, so obviously it's going to run real smooth. The real tester will come when we actually put some frames in. So when we do that, I will do another video. But worst case is we can take this triangle off and just bolt it directly to the base we built. That's worst case, and then if we need to unbolt it, we can. But I think this little, triangle thing will basically, I think that'll work. So, all right. So there you have it. Once I get it 100% complete, I'll do another little video segment, and then when we're ready to do a live test actually extracting honey, we'll do another one. So thanks. Hey, I thought I'd give you a little glimpse at the bee room. So we have a dedicated room, and then we have our extractor, which is mounted to a platform, and this allows us to that platform allows us to tip it forward because the honey gate is so high on the extractor. Right now it's locked down in the back there, but we can release that and tip it. General use table here, mostly used for bottling honey. It's a vinyl table cover to keep everything, nice and clean. We can scrub things down pretty well. Keep some other supplies up top here, just various boxes if people need delivery, that kind of stuff. Over here we just have honey bears and some jars, different containers, things for extraction. Most of these boxes with the yellow lids are just filled with things like bubble wrap, extra boxes for shipping. Just our little backyard beekeeping bee room. Nothing big, nothing fancy. Keep this pretty clean. Obviously, want to make sure that everything is safe and Carp's bee honey remains the best. So if you've ever lifted a 5-gallon food grade bucket of honey, you know how heavy it is. And in addition to that, if you put a sieve on it, especially a high micron count sieve like a milk nut bag or something like that, it takes a while to drain out the honey. So we actually use, I'll show you this up top here, pulley system. So we have a couple pulleys that we use. We bring this one here down to the bucket and attach it to the milk nut bag, and then we'll slowly lift it as it drains. So that just allows you not to have to stand there and hold a huge bag of honey as it drains out into the 5-gallon bucket. So and that just gets rid of any possible impurities whatsoever. So people seem to really like the nice clean flavor of the honey. So just thought I'd share. Little inventions going on here. So, who knows if this will work. We're going to try it out and see if it's a better way to go ahead and bottle honey. Certainly better than me holding a bucket in the air and dumping it into bottles. That's some of what I've been doing, but I think this will be a lot easier. We'll experiment with it and see if we can find some different methods and techniques that actually help, with the whole bottling process for, the backyard beekeeper here, if you're doing this in your home. So I certainly have plenty of buckets with the honey gates in the side, so that's not an issue. But I'll be curious to see how this works. So stay tuned for the results of this experiment. And, this is all designed to be an integrated solution here in our honey room, our bee room, with the extractor. So, all right, this is James with Carp's Bees. Hope you're surviving the dearth.